Everybody. Welcome to the first session of December coaching. I'm very happy to see you. I'm Kelly Hogan. I'm glad that you are here. Before I get into anything too deep, I have five sort of, I don't know, housekeeping items to go over before we get down to the business. Okay, number one, if you are new to Zoom right now, please try not to feel overwhelmed. Don't worry if this is a little tricky. If your camera is not on, it's fine. If you don't know how to use every button, it's fine. If you can hear my voice right now, you've done it. You made it to this meeting. You're doing great. So let's all take a breath in real slow and exhale. Get comfortable. Just listen in. You can take notes if you want. You do not have to have everything figured out on your first Zoom call, I promise. I do not have everything figured out, and I've had many Zoom calls. I just want you to be in the moment for today. Speaking of which, number two, I have turned off the chat box just for today. If you've been in the groups before, then you know this is the first day I have ever turned off the chat box. But last month, session one, November, that chat box was it was something. So I felt like we weren't really in the moment looking each other in the eye. I felt like we weren't able to really just get our heads in the right place because it was just a constant flurry of questions in the chat box. So I want you to know for the rest of the month, the chat box will be on. It's a great place to ask questions and get them answered, especially short questions, because it's not just me in this group. I have four carnivore experts who come in every single meeting. They help out in the chat box. They're on the Facebook page. Plus, a lot of you have been doing this a long time. You're carnivore experts in your own right. But for today, the chat box is off. Number three thing. Yes. As soon as this meeting ends, I'm going to send you the TDEE, the password for it, the handbook. You can use these tools as much as you want to, or not at all, whatever makes you happy. I will be talking through how to use these resources some throughout the month, but I want you to know you're going to have access as soon as this meeting ends. You will have it all. Number four, I strongly recommend that you join the Facebook page. I promise I do not get a kickback from Mark Zuckerberg. I'm not even like super pro Facebook as far as just fun time, but these groups, I'm in the groups daily. I post every day what I ate, what I did. You may not care, but other group members do too. So let me real quickly go show you something on the Facebook page in case you haven't been there yet. I'm trying to influence you to go check it out. Mondays, 12 o'clock. This is us. There's a section up here called featured. So as soon as you go to the Facebook page, if you click featured, you'll see everything. Yes, yes, this. Everything I have posted this month already. There's a prayer request page where people have commented their prayer requests. There's all of my posts. Some of it is like, yeah, who cares? Kelly was in a parade yesterday. But I posted anyway. All of my meats, lots of cooking tips. And then if you want to see what everyone else has posted, you can go to Community Home and see all of the posts. A few things I just want you to know. These groups are private. If someone does not have the password, they cannot even know that the group exists. They won't know you're a member. They can't see a single thing that you post here. It is private, and I only let people in if they have the password. If you're in this meeting, then you've gotten my emails. You already know the password. So I'll send out the link to that as well. You can also even post anonymously if you wish. So if you've got a real private question about your poop and you don't want anybody to know, you can create an anonymous post. But we're amongst friends. It's carnivores. We're fine with talking poop. Okay, the next thing, I think. Number five, you are now a part of a thriving group that is committed to um, doing the things that we know are going to pay off in the long run. In this group, yes, I think we do hold ourselves accountable, but I think some of us are here because we're not that good at holding ourselves accountable. I'm so much better at telling the group what I'm going to do for this month And then I'm very good at keeping my word to other people. I'm a very honest person. But if I just sort of say something to my in my own head, like, you know what, I'm going to work on push-ups this month. Ha ha, I forget about it. Right? But if I say it to you and I write it down and I've got my commitment sheet and I show that to you and I let you know in this group, if I keep my commitments, I'm going to let you know about it. If I don't keep my commitments, you will also know about it. If you haven't shared these commitments with anybody yet, then you don't have that on your side. So I would just encourage you go to Facebook and share what you're doing. I find it really helpful, even if that was the one thing you say, I'm going to give carnivore 30 days. So for the next 30 days, I am only going to eat, and for me, that's meats, eggs, dairy products. I do fine with coffee and seasonings. That is my carnivore diet. For others, it may look a little different. And feel free to tell us, this is what I'm doing for 30 days. In this group, when we mess up, I do not need a list of the carbs that we're eating. I really like la 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 la. I don't need to know. Here's what I would like to know if you mess up. Some people would call it a cheat or falling off the wagon. When that happens, I just want to know, how does that hurt you personally? Feel free to come and say, look, yesterday did not go well, but this is how I'm feeling today. My joints are hurting. I'm having cravings. It was not worth it. That's a very powerful statement to say. It wasn't worth it. And my very next bite is going to be, and tell us what you're having for your next meal. Burger patties. I'm getting back on track. Here's my plan. That's how this group kind of operates. We don't need a carb confessional, but we do want to know why does that not work for you? Why do you not want to continue in that pain? And how are you going to go forward? In this group, if someone has a win, we celebrate it. If you have a question, ask it. If you've got a prayer request, let us know. We will pray for you. And the majority of what we do here is the boring, consistent, daily work. I know it's like, oh, yay. That will then end up paying off in the long run. It is mostly the daily, I'm eating carnivore foods. Maybe I take a walk after a meal. You think, wow, that's boring. Do boring for a couple of years and report back, right? Boring really pays off. We will also get into nuances of breaking stalls and macros and tracking, but the majority of what's going to pay off really is just that daily, consistent work. And for me, what I like to think about every day is, God, I will take this brick and put it in place. And the next brick is going to be these pull-ups. So far, I do 50 push-ups a day. I've done 10 so far. There's one little brick that's been laid, and the next little brick. And then before I go to bed at night, I just can say, Lord, I've given it my all. Here are these bricks. Please use it for good. Please turn it into an amazing wall, right? Because I'm not a miraculous wall builder, but buddy, I can lay some bricks. And that's what I can do. I just feel called to daily keep laying those bricks. Okay, hopefully, if you're new here, that gives you an idea of kind of what to expect today and this month. Would anybody like to meet a few fellow carnivores who are excited about carnivore? To me, that's what gets me pumped up. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. I saw a nod and a smile and a fist bump. There it is right there. And Maria, I can feel the energy. I can see all of you, by the way, at one time. It's beautiful. Y'all are some good looking little carnivores. That's all I know. Um, I would love to talk to about 5 people, not 50, but about 5 today, who are excited to talk about carnivore. I know there I could find plenty of people who have questions, and I'm glad you're here. People who have trepidations, I'm glad you're here too. But right now, I want to talk to 5 people who could tell me in about a minute or less, maybe 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes. Why you are excited when somebody says, huh, so tell me about carnivore. Why do you do that? What's that about? What has it done for you? Is there anybody? who would be willing to either click the reaction button at the bottom. Kimberly, I've got you on up first. The reaction button, you can raise your hand electronically, but Kimberly just waved at me. That's great. I can see you. I saw it. So, about five people. I've got Kimberly, Sherlyn, Wendy. Hold on, move this out of the way. Elena, maybe one more. Suzanne. Suzanne, you'll have to help me remember. If you can find your reaction button, that would help me. Let's start there, and I'm going to put up a little timer just because um, I am long-winded, and maybe others are too. Hold on, let me find it. I'll put, come here, little timer. 2 minutes on the clock. All right, where'd she go? Did I say Kimberly was up first? Are you unmuted, my friend?
I am now.
Hey, tell me,
Hello.
why are you excited about carnivore?
I'm excited about carnivore because it has actually given me the joy in my life again.
Hmm.
I didn't do it for weight loss. I did it because I was 54. I was not feeling well. My joints were hurting, and I thought I am way too young to feel like this.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, and I was dealing with the death of my mother,
Oh.
which was 5 years ago. And, she was a cornerstone in my life.
Mhm.
And what I found with doing carnivore was I was able to deal with my grief instead of numbing it
Mm.
with food and alcohol. And it has I tell people all the time, you might want to do this for weight loss. Whatever reason you want to do this is a
Yeah.
right reason.
Yeah.
But what I didn't expect, what has completely, besides, losing 30 pounds in six
Oh,
months as a postmenopausal woman,
wow.
besides all of that stuff and feeling great, is that I can genuinely feel joy and I'm interested in living again.
Oh.
And that, my friend, has been the greatest, greatest blessing.
Oh my gosh, I just got a chill on my legs. I'm not a crier, Kimberly, but I'm a chill girl. Like when
Yeah.
something hits right, I get all the goosebumps. I'm so happy for you. The joy of living again.
Mm-hmm. I'm
Awesome.
interested in life. I'm
Yeah.
interested. I have grown-ups for children, and I'm interested in going for walks. I'm
Oh,
interested um, in 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 their lives again. And what a joy! What a joy!
I love it. Anybody pumped for Kimberly today? Yes. Awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing that. That was
Thank
fabulous.
you.
That's exactly what I'm going for here. Sterling, I'm telling you, baby, I've been excited about eating this way for 15 years, and I love hearing from other excited people. What what gets you excited, Sherlyn?
Well, actually, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey.
okay, good. So I basically carnivore has changed my life.
Mm. Oh, me too.
Um, yeah, I was able to lose 100 pounds,
Oh, wow.
and I had severe brain fog. I was shutting down. I felt like I was gonna die,
Mm.
and like, sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional right now. Sorry.
Don't apologize.
But like I was at the point where I didn't even want to drive. I am now living in San Diego where I drive on crazy freeways, and I'm also a pilot student getting ready to solo. So it has completely changed my life.
Oh,
So
my
yeah,
word.
yeah,
Okay. Well, so you went from feeling truly so mentally not with it that driving a car was tough to now you're driving airplanes.
yeah,
Well, you don't hear
yeah.
that every day, folks. That's amazing. Oh, sure, Lynn, that's cool. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's really, I'd be excited too. Thanks for sharing that. I know. I see the emojis going up, Anita. I like that. Hey, Wendy, what gets you excited about carnivore?
how to unmute. Okay. Can you
You're
hear me
good.
okay?
I sure
Okay.
can. Hi.
So, I've been carnivore since September 1st, 2023.
Great.
Um, I lost 24 pounds pretty fast, like by like February of this year, I think.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then I kind of got stuck there. I
Yeah.
wasn't really sure what. I've been sort of fluctuating a couple of pounds in there, but um, I I'm 52 right now. I'll be 53 next month.
You look good, babe.
And um, I just uh, I've been I have lupus, and so I have a lot of joint issues and stuff. So I wanted to try to find something that could help me relieve pain,
Yeah.
um, be able to be more active. My grip strength in my hands has been really bad, and so I wanted to try to like build up my strength, but honestly, like my joints were so sore all the time. I couldn't
Oh,
even really like use exercise
yeah.
things with my hands, and my sleep was terrible, a whole bunch of stuff. And I had been keto for a while, not super strict, but like hardly any carbs
Yeah.
already. I think I was probably under 50 carbs most of the time. Um, but I was able to lose weight pretty quickly, and a lot of like my skin issues cleared up. I had a lot of acne, just that I'm like, I'm 52. I should not have acne.
Right.
And people that I know really have noticed, and they comment about it all the time, how good I look and how healthy I look. And a bunch of my friends have joined in. My husband has has joined me. Um,
Cool.
and so,
Has it
yeah,
helped
it's
with the
just fun.
lupus? Has it helped with your lupus symptoms too?
Yes, so much. I notice, in fact, so I had a cheat or whatever you want to call it. I
Yeah.
fell off the wagon,
Yep.
but very little. Like I ate maybe two things at Thanksgiving that probably I shouldn't have, but even that, like the next day I was so sore. I'm like, yeah, I kind of knew it when I was eating it. I'm like, I'm gonna pay for this, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna pay.
Right.
So yeah. So
Hey,
it's
Wendy,
been great.
I'm so happy for you, not just for the weight loss. I know it's easier to celebrate weight loss because we can put poundage on that, right? Like, yay, I'm down, let's see, Charlene down 100 pounds, Wendy down 24 pounds,
Yeah,
Kimberly
and
down 30.
I still have 50 pounds to go. So like I'm not even the halfway there yet.
Yeah. But the fact that your pain is so much reduced, I'm
Yeah.
really happy for you. Thanks, Wendy. That is
Yeah, thank you.
exciting. Well done. Hi, Elena. Hey, what gets you excited about carnivore? Why do you talk about it?
What's your name first? Oh, so my mom is Diana, and then I'm Tiffany. So
Are,
I'll be talking instead of my mom.
okay. Okay. Are
Okay.
y'all, the sound is a
Yeah.
little bit off.
So the reason I'm excited,
I'm going to stop video for them in hopes that I can hear a little clearer. All right. Tell me again.
yeah, the reason I'm excited for carnivore
Uh-huh.
is so it helped my period, uh, and my PMS. I
Yes.
used to vomit every time I got my period, and I couldn't walk. It
Oh.
was awful. And I also have a stomach cold, so it really helped. Oh,
Ale-
yeah.
Oh, I am so glad you shared that.
Yeah,
I used to have awful cramps, menstrual cramps. Oh my word. And
yeah, it
now
was so awful.
you're just debilitated for a day or two, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
But not now. It's much better.
it's much better. I just get
Oh,
cramps for like 2 days and then I'm good.
awesome.
And
Hey, I'm so glad you shared that. I have a daughter that is 13, and I very much hope we're not there yet. I very much hope that she won't have to suffer like I did. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate you. That's exciting. That's exciting for me as a mom. It's good. Pam Johnson, what gets you pumped up about carnivore? Why do you talk about it? Oh, hit unmute. And then we'll get one more.
Okay.
There we go. We'll go Pam. Oh, it was Cheryl Ann, and then there was one more
Yeah,
person that I had said to wave
go
at.
ahead.
Who was it? Maybe I've already gotten to Suzanne. That was it. We're
Yeah.
gonna go Pam, Cheryl Ann, and Suzanne. Okay. Hi, Pam.
Hi. Well, I started my journey by watching someone at my church
Oh,
start to waste away in front of me.
oh,
70 pounds. I mean, she was on carnivore. Finally, I went and asked her, what has happened to you? And so she told me all about it. So I thought, I'm going to go to my coach and talk to him about it. So when I went to him, I asked him, what about this carnivore diet?
uh-huh.
And he told me, he says, it's the best thing you could do for your body, Pam.
Haha.
And so I said, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try it. And I started and and I was amazed at how easy. I started with beef, butter, bacon, and eggs.
Yes.
And I was surprised at how well I was able to stay on it. And then I started losing weight and then more weight. And for the first time, and I can't tell you how long, I felt hope
Oh,
because I had been so overweight for so long. And I was at that time, I'm 74.
wow.
And so, had listened to so many people saying you're not going to ever be able to lose that weight. And so I had a lot of depression over it, over the weight issue. So when I started seeing results, when the brain fog was gone,
Ah,
when I started healing in a lot of ways. And so it was just to me so exciting that at this stage of my life, I could feel younger again. I could feel like I wanted to move, like I wanted to walk, like I wanted to do these things.
yeah.
And so now I just feel really strong and I'm just very thankful. I got
Ah,
educated. When I first started, I listened to every podcast from Dr. Barry, Dr. Sean Baker, and
yes.
Kelly Hogan, and I wanted to get educated,
Yeah.
so I knew what was happening in my body. So anyway,
Pam,
so
what
I'm
a
thrilled.
great report. Hold on, let me turn back to my page. At age 74, feeling hopeful, losing weight, feeling stronger, feeling younger, and feeling thankful.
Yeah, and I've
Let's
lost
hear it for
74
Pam.
pounds,
You,
74 pounds since April.
oh, Pam, amazing. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing, Pam. That was cool. I'm
Thank you.
super pumped for you. All right, Cheryl Ann, why do you talk about carnivore? What gets you excited?
What really gets me excited is when I look at all the videos, I'm listening to videos, but I'm reading the comments at the same time
Uh-huh.
and hearing testimony after testimony after testimony of people losing weight,
Yeah.
getting rid of their health problems, healing their bodies. It blows my mind. I have a background as a registered nurse,
Oh,
and I've also got a background of continuous dieting since age 13. So, and I do a lot of research. I've done a lot of detoxes. And here is one thing that is healing people's bodies. And
yes.
that just blows my mind. I mean, I've had to do a little bit of a learning curve with leaving vegetables, leaving all of the,
Yes.
I was keto before this and I wasn't really standard American diet at all.
Uh-huh.
But I still would gain weight. And so I thought, well, I'll try this. And I'm just blown away by how many people get healed
Yeah.
from their health issues. So I am so excited about that as a healthcare professional. The other thing I'd like to add is I'm the unicorn in the room because everybody talks about how they've lost weight and gotten healed. I have been carnivore since the end of August and I have gained weight. So that's why I'm here.
Well,
I've
you're not a
obviously done it wrong.
I promise you're not the only unicorn in the room, right? I see a couple people
Okay.
not in my first 6 months of total carnivore, and I mean I ate not one bite other than beef for 6 months. I
Yeah.
also gained. It
Okay.
is not unheard of. And the weight that I gained, which was about 24 pounds during that time,
Wow.
came back off pretty quickly. It is not uncommon. In fact, we'll talk about that a lot more in session 2 about in fact, a lot of the more famous carnivores and influencers did gain in the beginning. So this
Yeah.
is not, it's not unusual.
Thank you.
And Cheryl Ann, I'm excited to have a healthcare professional here that really wants to see people heal. This is awesome. I was talking to my doctor a while back at a visit, maybe a year ago, and he was talking about, it's a real depressing job. He said, I just see people come in and it's just going from one med to treating
That's right.
the side effects from one med to the next med to the next med. And he made it sound awful. And I thought, dude, your job sounds way worse than mine. I get to hear people who are getting off of meds every single day. So, Sherilyn, I'm glad that you're out there doing the work. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. Thanks. And the last one is Suzanne. Hi, Suzanne.
Oh, here I am. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, thank you for having me. No, for me, the whole carnivore has been a journey. I've been a repeat offender with Weight Watchers. I've done the whole thing. I started out with keto. Then everything was keto with the sweets. How do I get all that stuff back in? And then it's been an organic journey, if you will, into that carnivore world. Like COVID kind of isolated me from the world, so I couldn't get anything bad in my body. So I would just start, I was like, I just kind of just want to eat beef. I started watching all these videos like yourself and, Dr. Barry and all that. And I was like, I'll just be in my office, cook up some hamburger, go back to my office, have some then all of a sudden I got a Peloton. I started exercising more. So I'm kind of like, my thing about the whole journey is like, I was a chubby kid out there. It was like back in the day, there was no chubby kids in school except for, for me. Right. And, I just, it was pasta. It was this, I'm Italian. So for me, like this whole journey, how do you live without that? And clearly you can do it. So I lost 20 pounds, from my weight, I'm coming back off and on from Weight Watchers, but I got down, for me, it was 115 pounds, which is great. But I said, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I left my job of 29 years and I worked for, of all things, a soup company. I was the lady who did the cheese. I was a commodities manager in food. So now I traveled, and I'll tell you, there's nothing like a barbecue from Texas. I mean, I've traveled,
Yes, I do know.
Yes. I mean, so I've never been around food so much, and unfortunately had a negative impact on me. And, you're trying to slip down that slope, and it's, you put on an extra 10 plus pounds. But what happened though is like, okay, what's going on now? Like, I've got cuts on my hands because I'm not eating right, or I'm having trouble connecting a few days, or I'm going out and I have lunch with my friend. I'm like, every day can't be special. I can't make today be the special day. You have the muffin or the cookie, or, you got to do what's right for you and not just that. But I'm also fearful of my family of having dementia, slipping into the dementias, the cancer. So I'm trying to do is mitigate risk is my why, which is, we have dementia. My dad had diabetes. Arthritis was a big thing, was very crippling. And I know folks and I'm like, oh my gosh, arthritis is nothing more than inflammation in the body. And I didn't, so it's through years of education and me trying to, so I went off, if you will, during Thanksgiving, but it was with keto food. So I'm like, okay, that's all right. But my husband enjoys it. We love chicken. We make chicken chips. We find all these different things out. There's a lot of different foods that you can find that still scratch that itch we're finding. And we're really enjoying it. And the mental clarity that you get behind it as well, too. You can think better, and there's focus and things like that. So, I mean, I haven't had any huge revelations, but it's a total well-being package is what I'm looking for. And just to move forward and not have any, any issues.
I love it. Suzanne, that is a big part of why I do it too. My mom has arthritis.
Yeah.
Her mother, my dad's mother, both died having no idea they were even in the dementia, unable to even remember how to eat. It's an awful thing to watch.
Yeah.
My grandpa had diabetes, untreated, died at age 54. I'm with you. There are so many benefits that I feel, but there are also so many things that I'm just hoping to avoid as well.
Exactly. It's more about avoidance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Suzanne. All right. Huge thank you to Kimberly, Cheryl, Wendy, Pam, Cheryl Ann, and Suzanne for sharing today. That was great. Okay, now I want to hear from the rest of you. I'm going to put a poll up that has 8 questions. Please do not hit the submit button until we've made it through 8 questions. Okay? This is not a test. When you see these questions, you'll know this is not like, oh no, this is way too hard. But in my first meeting, this is my very first day ever trying polls. So if you think you're nervous, me too, but I've got this. Just don't hit submit until you finished all 8 questions. And we'll talk through it together. It only took us about 2 minutes. This is not a very long thing. So hold on. Let me pull this up. Mondays, 12 o'clock. Do you see questions? Okay. Thank you, Suzanne, Wendy, and Laura. All right, number 1. Have you been in the groups before? Just tap either you have or you haven't. And I can see as people tap either I have or I haven't, but I can't tell what you answered. Are y'all answering that question? Okay. For some reason, that's not showing up yet. Okay, number 2. What has improved for you? So let's go through it. Digestion. Oh, and it doesn't mean that it's completely healed and, gone completely. Oh, now it's showing up. Good. But digestion, inflammation, sleep, leg cramps. If any of these things have gotten better, here's a big one. Cravings for sugar and carbs tend to get way better. It gets worse at first, then it gets way better. Glucose control, weight management. A lot of people get rid of their joint pain, get better energy, mental clarity, better moods, food peace, and just feeling better in general. You can click as many of those as apply. Number 3, let me know here how much carnivore experience you have so far. Either you haven't gotten started, on again, off again, or you see the other options, days, weeks, months, 1 to 2 years, or for years, baby. Click. You only get to pick one of those. That's multiple choice. Okay, question number 4. You can pick as many as apply. Why did you join this amazing group of carnivores? I'll let you take a minute. We'll go to the next one together. Just read through the options. The reason this is important is it lets me know what I need to focus on this month. Y'all working on question number 4? Okay, I see some heads nodding. Question. Are we good to go to number 5? I saw one head nod, and it was Kathy David. Thank you. All right, I'm going to question 5 just because Kathy's ready. Number 5, how do you feel about this month? Maybe you say, great. It's going awesome. It's easy peasy. Or you say, I feel okay because it's not hard, but I just want better results. Maybe you're nervous about carnivore because you're getting started. The holidays are here. Or be honest, SOS, not good. Help. I'm not feeling good about this at all. I need you. Just pick one. Okay, lots of you are picking now. Thank you. I'm going to question 6. Please let me know all of the foods that you enjoy often and you know are good for your body. One thing I put this on the list because I think most people will say that they trust burger patties, New York strips, ribeye. You may start to see fewer responses of yes when it comes to things like cheese. Maybe. I'm looking at the results. We'll see. And then also, I wanted to see who was paying attention. If any one of you jokers put spinach salad and corn puffs cooked in canola oil, just hit the exit button. We're done. That was just a test. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, we're going to go to question number 7. True or false? Meat is healthy for me. Carnivores eat a nutrient-dense, healthy diet that keeps out the toxic processed sugary junk and gives my body the best chance to heal and thrive. I'm looking at answers now. Every single person has gotten this correct. That is true. Y'all, we are feeding ourselves the most healthy, beautiful foods and keeping out all the garbage. And the last question. Are you, in fact, excited to be a part of this thriving, growing community of like-minded people that want to live healthier, happier lives by improving diet and our lifestyle as we learn together? Every single person, 100% has answered yes. Woo! Okay. Am I okay to end this poll now? If you didn't get it all answered, it's all right. But I'm going to end it. I see a lot of heads nodding. Thank you. And I can share the results. Let's take a quick look. It looks like we have about 70% are returning members, 30% new. I'm looking at what has improved. 70% of you, inflammation has gotten better. 80%, well, 79% better when it comes to cravings, sugar, and carbs. That's cool. More food peace for 66% of you. 61% just feeling better in general. And by the way, if you just started carnivore yesterday, you probably don't have a lot to report yet. I understand. I totally understand. Okay, question 3 says, how much experience? The most popular answer was months. But 9 of you have been doing carnivore for 1 to 2 years. 6 of us have been doing it for years, baby. Yeah. I know we have some 5+ year carnivores in this group. Okay, why did you join? Community support was the most common answer. Breaking weight loss stalls, next most popular answer. For the TDEE in the handbook, which I'm sending you in less than an hour, you'll have it. Sleep 21%, digestion 18%, hair loss 14%, leg cramp 7%. Maybe that's why that video didn't get many views. Not that many people suffering with leg cramps. Okay, and how are we feeling about this month? The most common answer is I feel okay because it's not that hard, but I just want some better results. Perfect. Okay, 6. Turns out burger patties, most common answer. Bacon, next most popular. Oh, butter, 91%. Love and trust butter. Okay, all right. 53% for heavy cream and cheese, 44. Pork chops. I'm gonna guess it's not that they're suspicious, they're just usually dry. Is that it, y'all? Is that why you said no? I hate a dry pork chop. If it's fatty and not overcooked, they're good. Okay, and then everybody got the last 2 completely right. Meat is healthy and we're excited to be here. All right. Thank you. I haven't found a really good way to share those results after the meeting is over because I'm new, but hopefully we get the gist. All right, I'm going to take you to the handbook now, y'all. Oh, wait, no, I have one more thing before I go to the handbook. I think it would be a little silly if I didn't make sure we at least have a clue what carnivore is. I think it would also be weird if you join this group not knowing. But this is a very quick clip about what carnivore is in case
How to start a carnivore diet. Simple. Only eat meat and animal products, fatty red meat being the best, and you can salt to taste. Cook your food in animal fat and avoid any seed oils. Cut out processed foods, sugars, grains, and vegetables. Focus on high quality nutrition and eat until you are satisfied. That's it. Tonight's carnivore feast: 6 homemade high-fat burgers, 3 eggs, a big slab of raw butter on the side, and of course we can't forget the essential burger juice. Do not wait around. Try a carnivore diet for at least 30 days and you will start thriving.
Okay.
How to start.
I don't know this guy. I'll be honest. I just saw his clip and thought, yeah, that kind of sums it up nicely in about 60 seconds what the carnivore diet is. For the first at least couple of weeks, I'm going to encourage everybody, new carnivores, to do it that way. Just eat as much meat as you possibly want. Nourish yourself. Eat burgers and butter, bacon, beef, all the meats that make you feel good in as much quantity as you want. That's a great place to start. Don't you all think? That's a really good starting point for somebody doing carnivore. Now, at some point down the road, if you say to me, okay, Kelly, I've been doing it just like that for 2 years and I'm not losing weight and I've got this problem and this problem, I promise I have more depth than just that. But it's a very good place to start. And I honestly think if everybody followed just that 60-second clip, what if the whole country did exactly, oh, well, I'm referring to the United States. I know you're not all from the US, but if the whole world followed that 60 seconds of advice, who here thinks that we'd all be better off? Anybody? I really do. Just 60 seconds of advice. Thank you. I'm not alone. I appreciate that. Okay. If no hands went up, I would be really concerned. Now to the handbook. So I need to go over what's here and what's new. I try to keep adding more and more. This is what it looks like when you first open it. I will email it to you as soon as this meeting ends. There's a table of contents. The bright yellow sections are newly added. I try to constantly keep putting in new things because I have, as you just saw from the poll, about 70% of you have been here before. So I want you to have new information frequently. The blue highlighted sections are just good things to focus on in the first week. And then there is only one green section. It is the quick links, and that is just full of important links that you probably will need often. So I think I'll start with the yellow. Returning members, I have updated about supplements. When it comes to supplements, the short version is some of us take none at all. I have recently started adding some vitamin D with K2, and I'll link and talk about that here. I was doing perfectly fine before adding that a week ago. This is a very new addition, and I just thought, gosh, I don't even know what my vitamin D levels are, so I think I'll see if anything feels any different if I add it, especially going into wintertime. So far, I have absolutely nothing new to report, but if you want to know about it, you can click here. I also discuss iodine and a few other things there. Other new things, there's a section on leg cramps. As some of you know, I just did a video with Danny Conway in which we discuss all of these things, but if you would prefer to read through it at your own leisure, it's there. And also, some of the things are linked down below, so it's all clickable. But if you would rather watch the video, I want to say it was about 42 minutes long. So it's there. Back to the table of contents. There is a brand new section all about hair loss. It's something I hear frequently, and I saw in the survey, some of you are concerned about hair loss. I discuss it here, and in about a week, there will be a video that goes along with this because I've already recorded it. I just haven't shared it or edited it yet, but it will be here. A lot of sections in the handbook have a video to go along with it. Histamine intolerances. I don't know for sure if Nanette is on this call, but she is one of my assistants. And Nanette gets a huge shout out for this one. She, unlike me, because I have not struggled with histamine intolerance, she has for years. And she is a researcher. You may have seen her on my YouTube channel about 3 weeks ago. Nanette is awesome. And she is typically on every recording or every group session. She will be in the chat box answering questions. Today, there is no chat box. And she's in the Facebook groups every single day. She wrote about, let's see, what histamine intolerance looks like, what are histamines, what carnivore foods are high in histamines, who are the biggest culprits, what to do if you're experiencing histamine intolerance. She has 8 common solutions, other factors other than just food, and if you do have a histamine reaction, what can you do about it? And a word of encouragement from her to you. And then I also added some additional resources down below that are all about histamines. So that is a brand new section that is much overdue. A lot of people do struggle with histamine intolerances. So returning members, look for the yellow sections. New members, there are some starter tips and common carnivore mistakes here. There's also a 23-minute video in which I talk through this document, but for you readers, it's here. Frequently asked questions. If you're taking notes right now and you want to know more about electrolytes, write down FAQ number 4. And I would like to quickly address FAQ number 6 about stevia and sweeteners. The reason I do not drink anything with sweeteners or eat anything with sweeteners is because I am a recovered, reformed sugar addict. Hey, this is a question I've gotten a lot lately. Have you seen anybody talking about the benefits of allulose recently? Do any of you you've seen people talking allulose? Okay, I see a lot of heads nodding. Me too. And in fact, they're so enthusiastic about it, I can even be influenced to think, gosh, that sounds kind of good. And then I really reflect on my life. The fact that I used to think about sweets nonstop, and now they don't even cross my mind. The fact that I used to be held captive by food thoughts. I couldn't walk past the dessert table. I sat and contemplated how many slices I could get before somebody noticed. And now I am free. You too, Cheryl Lane? I see you smiling and nodding at me like you get what I'm saying, right? There is nothing that allulose is going to do. They say it could lower your blood glucose by, it's not a lot, y'all. There is nothing that allulose is going to do that would be worth bringing back that prison that I used to live in. So if it works for you and you find that it's beneficial for something, do what works. If I were going to use a sweetener, it probably would be allulose, but I'm going to tell you, I'm not. I'm not bringing it back. It's not worth it to me. I can get everything I need from meat. My glucose has come down just fine. They say it can even lower your insulin. My insulin is below 2. I don't need it any lower. Okay? I just want to mention why I don't use sweeteners. Because there is freedom for me without them. And I have lost that piece over silliness as a carnivore. Altoids. Sugar-free Altoids. I lost my piece. I had a breath spray one time that was sweet, and I was like, oh, I'm not eating or drinking. It's just breath spray. Hold on, let me use this 400 times per day. I'm telling you, I have a problem. But now I don't. I had a problem, and I'm free from it. So that's why I will not be using allulose or diet soda or anything else. That's my story. Yours may be different. You may or may not, in fact, be me. So probably not. But I do talk through the issues it tends to cause for people. Those issues are typically cravings, digestive problems, some stubborn insulin that won't come down. I'm not particularly talking allulose with this one, just sweeteners. Some people get joint pain, especially with stevia, and they just can't lose weight when they keep them. So that is, if you want to read more, that is frequently asked question number 6. If you have started feeling worse after starting carnivore, write down FAQ number 7. Sometimes you just need time to adjust. Truly, there's something called the adaptation period. You might just feel tired. You may need a nap every day for a few weeks. It's normal. Your body is adjusting. It could be oxalate dumping. I talk about that here. It could be that you're suddenly eating a lot more egg whites and dairy, and a lot of people do not do well with egg whites and dairy. It could be the histamine intolerance. You could be having poor energy because you're not eating enough, or perhaps you're not getting at least 60% of your calories from fat, and we'll talk about that much more throughout the month. But eating fatty meats like ribeye, pork belly, burger patties, a little butter can help people to feel better sometimes. You might feel like garbage because your stomach acid just has not adjusted to eating this much meat. It will. It will. The things that will make it worse is if you keep taking antacids throughout this process, and I'm not your doctor, so I can't tell you to come off of a single medication. Talk to your doctor. But I can tell you that when people feel like they have burning in their stomach, when they start eating more meat, it is very often because they don't have enough stomach acid. But it feels like it's burning, so they go, oh my, I have too much stomach acid. So they keep taking antacids, and it's making the problem worse and worse for many people. So I would encourage you to go to the section on digestion when that is the case. And we go back to the top table of contents. Okay, so all of that was under frequently asked questions. If you are just getting started, chapter 1, baby, I would encourage you to look through each of these sections, but particularly the blue ones. I have some foundational thoughts that helped me tremendously when I was getting started. There are 4 variations of carnivore. I think I'll say this part for everybody. You can do this intuitively. Think Dr. Chafee, man. Eat meat when you're hungry. Stop when you're full. Do not track anything. Lions don't track, and you don't need to either. And if that works for you, that's perfect. I'm a huge supporter of intuitive carnivore. If, however, you know that something isn't working for you, you either can't lose weight or your hair is falling out, you can't sleep, yes, you might want to occasionally track your food using something like Carb Manager. That's the one that I use at least. Carb Manager is just a free tracking app to just check in once in a while and see, well, okay, this is what I'm doing. So I eat meat, I stop when I'm full, but I check in once in a while to make sure I'm eating enough. And then there are some of us that just feel the most mentally stable and get our best results when we track most everything we eat. We are tracking carnivores, and there is no shame in it. I own it, I track what I eat, and I post it, and I get some flack for it from some people who say it should be intuitive. Listen, there are some people who are intuitive about finances, and there are some people who aren't. So they need a spreadsheet and a budget. Let me come look at you for that. Let me say that again. Some people are very intuitive about their money. They say, you don't need a spreadsheet. Just don't spend any more than you make. It's easy. It's intuitive. Does that work for some people? Well, yeah, sure. On the other hand, do some people really need to micromanage or else they run out of money each month? Yes, in which case there's no shame in having a spreadsheet and a budget. Get some data so you can see where the changes need to be made. It's a perfectly acceptable way to do carnivore. Some of us have the spreadsheet. And then lastly, some people also track their food, but just throw in a reset day here and there. We'll talk about that in in session 3, but it's already in the handbook under chapter 3 if you want to check that out. Okay, back to the table of contents. If you don't know how to go out to eat as a carnivore, I wrote up an ordering guide. If you want carnivore recipes, if you want to learn about lab work, we will cover some of these not highlighted topics throughout the month. Oh, social situations, that's coming up for some of us. You just made it through. There is also a new video just about that. And I don't want this handbook to feel overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, when am I ever going to look through all of this? You don't have to open it ever. But if you see as I'm going through that your main problem is chapter 2, oh my gosh, I'm still addicted to sugar, carbs, and processed foods, I would just encourage you to come here, spend some time. I remember what it was like, and so do many people on this call. We have been there. Share it on the Facebook page. Let us help you. Chapter 3 is where we'll spend most of next week and the week after that. But if you already want to know about burger patty math, how to track flank and ribs, how to get 30 grams of protein, what is a metabolic reset day, it's all here. If you can't sleep to save your soul as a carnivore, please go to chapter 5. None of these chapters, the histamine one is a little long. Nanette would be the first to say. She had a lot to say on the topic and she said it and it needed to be there. Most of these sections are less than 2 pages. So for sleep, I gave a lot of sleep tips and some additional links. For digestion, I think it's about, let's see, maybe a page? 1 page. Some of the tips are very obvious and some get a little more interesting towards the end of that list. Okay. Ooh, my time is about gone. But there are also some bonus materials. I forgot to mention this in my 10 o'clock class. Some great advice from the Facebook pages down here, including dealing with cravings, meat aversions. If you're struggling with meat aversions, you could write down phenomenal advice, number 5. What's the difference between oxalate dumping and a histamine reaction? Why do I keep going back to sweets? Some, I don't know, how to handle family members. Why am I not losing weight? What should I change first? Just really cool bits of advice that I have seen on the Facebook pages. It's not beautifully organized, but it's there. And some really great inspirational stories from some of my current group members. You may see some of these people even on this call right now. Their stories, how to find them on Instagram. I'm going to make this small so I can quickly scroll and show you. It's a lot of amazing stories that you could just get to know these people. Some of them are group experts. Dana is one of the official group experts. Kathy, Nanette, Karen, Dana. So, make some carnivore friends. All right, look alive. I'm going to come look at you. Wake up. Y'all still with me? I feel like we've covered a lot of territory in this meeting. We talked about, okay, let me look at my notes here. Make sure I hit it all. I covered the 5 housekeeping things, talked through about what our group is about. The Facebook groups, we took a survey to sort of get to know who all is here, what we're made up of. The handbook, the TDEE will be in today's email with the password. Oh, last thing. Pencils up. I'm going to give you homework. Here it is. I know. Oh, just know if you don't do it, I probably won't find out. If I knock on your door and say, show me your homework, I expect good things. Number 1, let's keep our commitments. In all sincerity, whatever you wrote down on your commitment sheet or on your little app, if you follow through with that for 30 days, you will probably be pleasantly surprised at what happens. Don't forget about these lists. It's easy to throw them to the side. Today is December 2nd. If you didn't do it December 1st, today's a great day to pull them out. Let's do it. I will be filling mine out every single day and reporting, and if I ever miss a thing, I promise to let you know. Okay, second bit of homework. When I email it to you at some point this week, could you just open the handbook? You don't have to even click on a thing, but I would encourage you to just look through it. Just say, okay, this is what's here. Good to know. You do not need to memorize it or recite it. It's approaching 200 pages, but it's clickable. It's not intended to be read cover to cover. Excuse me. Just find the parts that interest you. If you don't have a single problem in the world, then just eat meat. You don't even need to find it, but it's there if you need it. And bonus homework, last one, number 3. This is only for people who say, gosh, I've been doing carnivore, and Kelly, I need your help troubleshooting, particularly when it comes to weight loss. If that's you right now, this is your homework assignment. Get a food tracking app. The one I use is Carb Manager. Some of you I know already have one. If you've already got Chronometer, Chronometer, MyFitnessPal, My Diary, My Fat Secret, they're all good. Get one that you think you'll use. Here's a cool reason to do that. Dr. Bill Campbell, he's a physique expert. That's his PhD, is basically fat loss. This man knows his stuff. Unfortunately, he's not carnivore, so he doesn't know everything, but he knows some stuff. And he has shared some studies, including one recent study in which they took a large group of people and taught all of them how to track their food using an app like Carb Manager. It did not say which app. Let's hope it was free. They're all free. They'll ask you to pay money, but don't pay it. Just hit the X. Say no. And then they assigned people to a group. One group could not track but one meal per day. And then they were the infrequent trackers. And then there was another group that had to track most everything they ate. So they all were taught how, but one group could only do it a little bit of tracking, and the other group had to do a lot of tracking. At the end of this little study, those that tracked a little bit lost an average of 4.5 pounds. I mean, they still lost. That's kind of cool, especially since these people weren't even put on a food plan. Just track your food once a day. The people who were tracking most everything they ate lost 8.5 pounds during the study versus 4.5. It's not that tracking guarantees weight loss, but I have seen time and time again in my own life that we can manage what we track. We become more mindful about when we're tracking. We're not just throwing food in our mouth. If I think to myself, oh gosh, I've got to pull out that tracking app for 2 pieces of pepperoni, forget it. You know what I mean? Like, it just makes me a little more aware of what I'm doing. and less likely to just graze all day on junk. If you have to measure out pork rinds, it's not even worth the time to me. Done. I'm putting them back up, right? So if you want my help troubleshooting, I would appreciate it if you could come to me and say, hey, Kelly, this is on average what I'm doing so that I can help you, right? That TDEE is going to be much more helpful to you if you have a baseline. This is called baselining. Just let me know what you're currently doing. So this week's homework would just be find an app and maybe look at it a little. You don't have to necessarily track every bite you're taking, but maybe take the next best step for you. So like Kathy David, I know for sure already has a tracking app. She knows how to use it. So maybe her next step this week would be to just maybe be a little more thorough about it. I don't know for sure. And then to look back over what you're doing. For some of you who have never tracked before, the next best step might be to just download one. Just get a free app and maybe enter one meal this week. That would be a step in the right direction for somebody. And if you are a Dr. Chafee, intuitive carnivore all the way, because I just started and I'm just going to eat meat to my little heart's content because it's working, don't get the app. I mean it. You don't need it right now. Just nourish your body, enjoy your meat. Does this sound reasonable? If it's working to just eat meat and keep out the junk, I don't need you to complicate it for me. All right. Everybody feeling okay? I hope I haven't overwhelmed anybody. Go back to the basics if you need, but you've got the tools if you feel ready for them. Okay, this is how we end our meetings. I will ask you in just a moment to unmute yourself and say goodbye to the group, whatever you feel like saying for, I don't know, 20 seconds. And then you may leave if you wish. However, if you stay, just know I'm praying for you. That's what happens. I stop recording before that because I don't know. That's just what I do. So let's unmute and say goodbye. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you,
Bye.
guys.
Thank you, Kelly.
Hi, everyone. Thank you,
Bye.
Kelly.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
See you next week.
Ah,
See you next week.
goodbye. The sweet
Bye.
sound of
Bye.
happy carnivores. I love it. Thank you, everybody. That's great. If you don't want to stay for prayer, there will be no hard feelings whatsoever. Just hit the button and I'm going to stop recording.